In this last video, we're going to make a fancier version of the health bar. Actually, something I probably should have done in the first video was this. Let's add an opening bracket and a closing bracket to the health bar to indicate that it's a bar. So here it says health is, and then we've got 5 stars. Here I'm displaying opening and closing brackets before the row of bars, so it looks like this. Looks a little bit more like a bar. Let's maybe delete those, and let's maybe make this print line. Okay, so what I really wanted to do was I wanted to modify this command so that you can say how long you want the bar to be, and what the largest value of the variable is. So let's say health is really out of 100. 5 out of 100 is not very much. So we would want the bar to be, a very small number of stars. We would want it to be very short to indicate like the percent of the maximum that your variable actually is right now. So let's go ahead and modify the command. We're going to have the number of stars. So let's rename some stuff. Well, here, I'm going to recreate it totally from scratch. So we're going to give it the variable that we want to display. We're going to give it the total amount that it's out of, so the maximum possible amount. And then let's describe the length of the bar that we want to display, so like 20. All right, so when we're creating the command, we can do that down here. I can say public static void display bar, and I'm going to take 3 inputs. The first is amount. The second is like the maximum amount. And the third is the total length of the bar that we want. Okay, so just like we did last time, I'm going to have an opening bracket, and I'm going to have a closing bracket. And in the middle, I'm going to have a loop. But I need to calculate how many stars do I really want in my loop. So let's make a variable called numStars where we'll do that calculation. So if I do amount divided by max amount, excuse me, that's going to be a percentage. Let's do this actually. I'm going to make one of these a double so that we don't have integer division. I guess there's no reason why they can't all be double. Okay, so this is now a percentage, but a percentage of what? I think we want to be a percentage of the total length of the bar that we want to display. But I can't display a decimal number of stars, so I have to cast that entire thing to be an int. Okay, so now this is going to tell me how many stars I want to display total, and now I can make my for loop, which will display that number of stars. So I'll start it at 0. I'll say I is less than numStars, and I'll print a star. Okay, so I know that that was fast, and later in the year we're going to go over each of the pieces that were involved in this, so you should be able to understand this for real later in the year. But for now, you can just go ahead and use the display bar command. And let me just show you what it looks like. So here, we're displaying 5 out of 100 health, so that's just 1 bar. Oh, you know what we should probably do? We should probably make this longer to indicate, this is a little bit confusing. We should indicate the total length of the bar. So let's add one last thing. NumSpaces is going to be max amount minus numStars. Except we got to cast it to an int. And so after we display a certain number of stars, let's display a certain number of spaces. Okay, this is going to be much better. All right, so health is, and so now I've got 1 star out of a total length of, is that really 20? Yeah, I think it probably is, but let's make it shorter. So let's say 10. Let's say 8. Oh, sorry, I know what the problem is. It shouldn't be max amount, it should be length. Okay, problem solved. Okay, so 5 out of 100 rounds down to be 0, so that looks like our health is empty. So I guess a lesson here is make sure that your bar is long enough. Also, I guess in our case it would have to be at least 20. Make sure your bar is long enough that 0 stars really means that you're out of health. Looks like this. So 5 out of 100 looks like this when the length is 20. But if we were going to make this 50 out of 100 for a length of 20, you'll see half the bars left. If we were going to make a loop here, let's do this. For I gives us 0 to 100. Display bar I 100, 20. So this is going to display a whole bunch of bars that just count up. So that's what it looks like over time. Okay, well, I hope so. Feel free to use this command. Feel free to modify it however you'd like and use it in your game. I hope this was helpful.